What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Nimo's Corner. I'm your host for today's episode, 𝐿𝐴𝐷𝐪𝑚 𝐂𝐫
And I'm your co-host, 𝑗𝑢𝑟𝑔𝑒 𝐬𝑚aestrado.
Today's episode is all about creative storytelling and our favorite tropes, storytelling cliches, tips on world building, and so much more. Here today is our very special guest, Sir Zep.
Hello.
Sir Zep.
Hi, sir.
Hey, hi.
Hey, sir. You like this for the mic so we can hear your voice.
Oh, hello. Hello, everyone.
Yes. Your booming voice, sir. Hello, good afternoon. And how are you? What's your artistic background? Because I did look at your Twitter and it was like D&D stuff.
Yeah, it's all D&D for me.
I love D&D.
I love D&D. That's what brought me into just like creative world building, but we'll get to that later. I'm in terms of like background, I'm an alumni. I graduated. This is gonna date me, and it's gonna haunt me forever that I'm gonna say this. I'm batch 2017. No, 2017 I graduated, but I was batch 2012.
That's not even the 120 or 119.
It's been a while. Do you remember your ID number?
It's 112.
Whoa.
I think I brought my ID here somewhere.
ID reveal?
Yeah,
You
but,
really get an ID reveal?
but I'm not too sure.
Is the ID different?
It was really like, oh, wait.
You earlier.
I'm gonna cause so much like bad audio. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's ASMR.
ASMR. It's a race in D&D.
ASMR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ASMR, the Happy Angels. I'm sorry, we're nerds.
No,
No, I didn't bring it. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
All that build up for nothing.
it's okay. We're gonna edit in a post picture of Sir Zep.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll just send the photo.
The ending. That's sorry, editors.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We'll feed you potato corn some other time.
Can you tell us about your course, sir?
Sorry, my what?
Your course when you were here.
Oh yeah, I finished animation when I was here, and yeah, I like you guys had to go through the 1,700 drawings of pain. I'm sure like some of the listeners know what I'm talking about. Hopefully,
Unfortunately, sir.
Unfortunately, yeah. So, but yeah, right now I'm doing just freelance work here and there, and I'm also on the side. I mean, my main thing right now is I'm training to become a pastor, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, which is so far off my field, but it's all right. You just have to go where life takes you, right?
I love your life. You're like your own main character.
Life is a highway.
Right?
Yeah,
Going
life
on
is a highway.
These side quests.
True.
It is like your life is like a D&D
Yeah,
campaign.
you just farm all the gold and then eventually buy some gear. That's good.
Hopefully no like weird, really overpowered dungeon.
And then end up becoming a level 20 paladin or something.
Divine smiting every problem in life.
True.
The best.
Violence solves. No, just kidding.
No.
We do not condone
We do not
violence.
condone violence, guys. We don't condone violence.
Since you've had, oh my god, I feel like you've been through so much in your life already. So I want to segue this into our first question. For you, why is it important to find all these different ways of storytelling? And I can tell just by your introduction, there's a lot of creativity there. So how do you do it? Why is it important for you?
I think the importance of finding like different ways of storytelling is to just to reach people out. The different professions that I've had all throughout my years of experience, I feel so old saying that, has just taught me that everyone could use a good story, and everyone could be helped by a good story. It just depends on who's listening and who's telling the story. So it kind of drives me to the point where like no matter who you are, there's you have like a story to tell. You just have to know how to say it. You just have to know how to deliver the story properly. So yeah.
Ah, that's so nice. I really like that. It's like ratatouille. Anyone can cook.
Anyone can.
Hey, let them
Yes.
cook. Sir, this is a bit off topic, but that's kind of the mantra of like our thesis in animation: tell your own story.
Yeah, it's funnily enough, it's been consistent ever since. Like back in 2012 when I was still studying, the professors told us the same thing. You can be good at technique, you can be good at drawing and everything that you do, but if you don't have a voice, if you don't have a story to tell, studying animation won't be like worth it unless you really have like a unique story to tell, unless you have something that you want to say to the people, like a message to them. Yeah. So I think it's been consistent ever since.
It's a very nice sentiment, because I feel like when people go into animation too, they just think, oh, it's all artistic prowess, but
True.
they also forget
Right.
about that.
And you
aspect.
easily get intimidated because a lot of the people in the animation field are really good artists. They're
Yeah.
like, the first time that I experienced like a major subject, like a drawing subject, everyone felt like I was standing there and I was feeling, I felt like I was in the presence of God. It's like,
Wow.
how could you draw this well, and I do not deserve to be in this spot? You get just a wave of imposter syndrome.
Yes, oh my god.
Relatable,
Still
sir.
rings true until now.
Yes.
So like aside from style, what can set you apart is your voice, I believe.
Yes,
Right?
definitely.
Everyone's unique, sir.
True.
Everyone has their own story.
Yeah.
I feel like a wave of inspiration just hit us right now with those. Starting it off the gate strong. Going with that, where do you personally get your inspiration? Where do you find your voice?
Oh. Wow, that is a loaded question. Where do I find my voice? My specific voice, I find it from everywhere. It's such a cliche thing to say that you just find it from everywhere, but you as an artist, you don't just like release stuff, right? You consume a lot of things as well. Like you consume a lot of media, you consume a lot of books and stuff. And me, I believe that my voice is just a culmination of everything that I've ingested.
Oh, that's nice.
My voice is just my experiences, the things that I take in, the lessons that I've learned. And that's just what I want to say. And when I was starting to write stuff, I always drew inspiration from the latest thing that I watched. That was the easiest part for me. That was the easiest way to just draw inspiration immediately. I remember when I started like writing this, because we're doing like a DnD. We're doing like a DnD stream on Twitch. Yes, the Dirty 20.
Yes, plug it, sir.
The Dirty 20 on Twitch. If you guys want to check out the DnD stream, we've been going on for like 90 episodes already.
It's a long campaign, sir.
It's a pretty long campaign.
It sounds easy.
But when I was starting that off, the way that I wrote was just emulating what I was consuming at the time. And at that specific moment, I was just watching a lot of Castlevania.
Oh my gosh, that's so.
The new one
That
is
says
coming
a
out
lot.
too.
So it started off like very grim dark. It started off with a lot of like, oh, people were getting burned at the stake. So
Awesome.
yeah,
I mean, not awesome.
I mean, violence. But yeah, so yeah, to me, like my voice is just a combination of everything that I've done so far, that I've had so far as well.
Well, that's so nice. It reminds me of that quote na, you're a mosaic of everyone you ever knew, everything you've ever loved. And I feel like as artists, that really resonates
Right,
with
yeah.
us. So thank you for that, sir.
That was beautiful.
Exactly, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Since you find a lot of inspiration from a lot of things, how do you think does it show in your art?
Oh, if you look at my Twitter bookmarks and all of my saved things in my Instagram, and then you look at my feed, it's again, it's just a culmination of everything that I've like consumed so far. I guess in terms of art, like one of my major influences is it's such a far reach to say, but I really do aspire to be like him. Takehiko Inoue, if any of you know him. The artist for Slam Dunk and Vagabond.
Oh my god, I didn't know he did slam dunk.
He is an insane artist.
Oh my god.
And he, rest in peace to the legend himself. But he is such a good artist. 𝐍𝐤𝐦𝐤𝐵 𝘂𝘁𝐫 𝐂�0
Oh,
the one who did Berserk.
yeah.
Oh
Rest
my
in
god.
peace.
Okay.
I also love. I'm just gonna nerd out.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I,
We love that.
I also love if you follow him on Twitter, like 𝐶𝐬𝐦𝐦 art. He's a cover artist for Marvel. The way that he does his illustrations is just insane to me. I kind of lost track of because I'm just nerding out about my favorite artist.
No, it's okay. When you nerd out about something, it helps you just like to get the gears
True.
flowing.
Yeah. Also, Adam Hughes. If you guys know Adam Hughes.
Don't think so.
I'm gonna show you guys what his work later. He's
Put it
so
in post.
Oh right, yeah, we're gonna put it in post.
I'm so sorry, editors.
Adam Hughes, Dan Mora. If you guys know Dan Mora.
Dan Mora?
Dan Mora, yes, Dan Mora.
Wait.
Dan Mora is insane. He's like the golden child of today's like comic book scene. He's so good, and the way that he does his lines, is just. It speaks volumes to me.
So comic book art is your style. I looked at your
Yeah.
Twitter, sir. It's like very. It is like berserk, like graphic, gritty, graphic novel.
Right, yeah.
I like that.
And also, I tend to gravitate my style towards what I currently want to achieve. Like one of my goals right now is to eventually become like a Magic the Gathering or like a D&D artist.
Oh my god, that's insane.
So I'm trying to direct or at least learn a bunch of styles that speak to that genre.
Yeah.
And also on like my other style is just trying to do comics.
Oh, that's a
So
lot.
yeah.
That's a lot. That sounds so fun though.
Yeah, George, didn't you say like Sir's style was like very good at like emulating your reference?
Yes. We looked a little bit into your Twitter. Oh my gosh, your drawings are insane.
Thank you.
Yes,
Like
sir.
personally, I feel like one of the hardest things to draw, a personal thing, are beards.
I love
And
beards.
you do it so well.
I
I don't
love
know
beards.
how.
You have one, sir. So
I have one, yeah. I am a big advocate of beards. The comfort and the warmth that it gives is just...
unfortunately, sir, some of us are not blessed with beards. We can't grow.
It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe in time. Maybe in time.
In time,
I
yeah.
have a spiritual beard.
I didn't grow a beard until I was like 25 or 24 or something.
You still have hope, Miko.
There's
I
still
have one more year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of like art, that's...
Passing it on to, again, D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Revisiting that, Miko. You may have some questions.
Yes, because
Yes.
D&D is all about storytelling.
True.
Are you a dungeon master, sir?
I am the dungeon master.
Oh yeah, you
and-
know all about good storytelling, sir.
Yes, it's
So-
so fun.
That leads into one of our questions, which is, where would you start as a storyteller? What ways can be an artist be an effective storyteller, and art as a medium be an effective story medium?
I personally believe that when you're trying to build a world, or just trying to tell a story, right? Not yet like a full-fledged world. If you're trying to tell a story, you just have to start with what you know. So you have to dig down deep and like think about your special interests, the things that you're obsessed about. One good example is like one of my influences and my idols, Takehiko Inoue, is obsessed with the NBA. He was obsessed with the NBA. He was obsessed with basketball and everything about it. That's why one of his very first works is Slam Dunk, because he knew a lot about the technicalities of the sport, and he knew a lot about how to actually like draw scenes. He would take like photographs of like actual basketball players and put them into use them as reference and put them into the manga itself. So that's a lot of what he does. For me personally, when I was world building for the D&D campaign that I was doing, my main thing about me is that I'm studying right now to become a pastor. So the major thing that I made such a big influence on my world is religion.
Ooh, that's so
Yeah. So our world is called Azaria, and it within Azaria, it's the three major religions within Azaria are split between like 3 major gods, and those 3 gods, they control and they influence everything about the world. And within the religions come like the government systems and the way that like everything just trickles down from the thing that you know the most, and then for everything else you study. So if you don't know how villages work, you just study how villages work. If you don't know like how professions work, you study how professions work. Like you don't really go into storytelling knowing everything. So that's why, like, for me, it's always just start with what you know and then study from there.
That's so nice.
great.
I really like that. I feel like religion is such an interesting thing to pull inspiration out from. But personally, I love like art that revolves religion.
Yes.
Like
So
there's
good.
something so dramatic about it for me.
yeah.
Because religion has so much nuance to it, right?
Yes.
It's not always the followers within a certain religion don't always follow a certain mold. A lot of them tend to be extremists. A lot of them tend to be bigoted. But a lot of them as well are really good people. So within the scope and the range of just that, you can do like a lot.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yes, sir. And the myths are surrounding
Yes.
it's like so cool. It's like some of it is like something you would see in a manga. It's like the ideas are cool, the art is cool, the
True.
ideas are cool.
Yeah.
And so another question I have in terms of storytelling is more character based because I love characters.
Yes.
And D&D is about characters as well.
Mm.
This podcast might just be about D&D now. The episode.
Welcome to the
It's so-
D&D podcast.
You know what? That wouldn't be bad. We would get a lot of viewers. But anyways, how do you make an audience care about a character? What makes a good character? So who are some of your favorite characters in fiction?
Oh, that's such a good question. The common answer would be relatability, right? If a character is relatable enough, that the people will gravitate towards them and find them. They can find like, compassion for them. They can see themselves in the character. But I believe that to be true. Yeah, but even more so, because a character can be relatable, right? But you also have to, like within the course of the storytelling that you're doing, what matters is the execution of the struggle. Conflict, yes. So whenever you see like a character, they might be like really relatable, but if they're not going through something at the moment, you don't follow them through the journey. So like a good example of like one of my really like favorite characters, there's a lot. Oh my god. I guess I could start with it's so hard to really think about like my favorite character right now because there's so many.
You have to pick your favorite.
I have to pick a favorite. I guess Griffith from Berserk.
Griffith.
He's so evil, right?
Yes.
But at the same
No
time, some people you find some people who are red flags. you find people who are red flags that try to justify his actions.
Not understandable. Never justify Griffith.
But if you like put him down to his essence, like the very essence of his character is just being ambitious and giving everything to just achieve his dream. And the polar opposite of that, if you really think about it, it's not Guts, because Guts is just like a character that defines suffering, right?
Yes.
You know who would be the polar opposite of following your ambition and giving everything, but in a good way? Naruto.
Actually.
He never gave up on Sasuke. He never gave up on being
Yes.
Hokage.
Yeah.
He's
You
like
know what?
Deku in a way. OG Deku.
He's the OG Deku.
I have mixed feelings about my hero.
I'm gonna become the next Hokage! It was insane,
I'm gonna be the
man.
Pirate King.
I want a crossover between Naruto and Berserk now.
That would be, dude. That would be so weird. How would Naruto just become depressed?
Maybe.
And so,
With all the things that he's gonna fight in Berserk World.
and with that, sir, we have to take bit of a break. So we will be right back.
Yes. So you guys better stay tuned. You can see our upcoming events, our fan art from some of the fan art that some of the members made. We'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. See ya. Welcome back to Nimo's Corner Season 2. If you weren't here before, this is episode 4, Idea Train, thinking of creative ways for storytelling. And with us is Sir Zepp again.
Yeah, hi Zepp. Hello again.
Hello again, Sir Zepp.
It's been ages. Centuries.
Good day.
We had a very informative conversation before the break. And jumping off of that, we wanted to ask more about the environments naman for the characters. And off camera, we had a discussion about Devil May Cry Baby and
Yes.
Cyberpunk. And you said that Cyberpunk.
We nerded out even more. I love that.
Yes, always.
Yes.
Forever.
Yeah.
So,
I feel right at home.
that's so nice to hear, sir. Thank you so much.
You've been marked by the animation
It's
curse.
true.
Not curse.
I will
Blessing.
never step out of the
Your soul has
I'll
been
never
marked.
break free.
Soul branded.
Yeah.
Going back to it, when you said Cyberpunk has very good environments,
Yes.
right? Yes. So, how do you flesh out environments like that? Especially since you're a dungeon master, like personally, how do
Right.
you think of such a vast world?
Thinking of such a vast world has to begin in like a single place, right? For me, the way that I do it, every time that I would describe a certain place to people, I would always go into the 5 senses. So that's help me. So that's sight, smell, touch, hearing, and then
Scent?
scent.
yeah, smell.
Yes, thank you. Wait, yeah, smell. I just taste. Yes,
Hey.
taste. So whenever I would just describe stuff to people, I would always just go into the 5 senses. Oh, what does it taste like? What does it smell like? Because that's what the readers, or that's what the viewers, when they hear those things, they start to try sort of like emulate it as well. When you tell them that it tastes like iron, for some reason the little guys in your brain just tell your mouth there's like a taste of iron in my mouth, right? Whenever like detailed storytelling tells you like specifics about it, you just especially for us, like really imaginative individuals, we just tend to put ourselves there. I guess for environments, you also have to understand how different environments complement each other. So I had to read a lot on like world geography,
Oh my god.
just because I wanted to build like a whole world. What would the climate be like in the equator? When you're closer to the poles, what would it be like? If there's like an uncharted region, why is it still uncharted? What looms in the unknown, some sort of stuff. And a lot of the things I believe in, like creating an environment, revolves around a mystery. When you're trying to build an environment, you always have to draw like a sense of curiosity with the way that you build things. For Cyberpunk, I feel like the mystery was, for me, the mystery was like how these people managed to live in such a cramped world.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So if if that became like the new normal, so you would start to think of, what would the people in more comfortable settings be like? So like those are the corpos and everything else. So what would the really really like poverty-stricken people would be like? So that's like the people in the mega cities. So yeah, I guess you just have to consider it one by one, but also you have to allow yourself to just have holes in this in the environment that you're making, because sometimes it's good to just leave stuff for the imagination as well.
Ah, yes, it's very true. It's so interesting that I feel like a lot of people tend to forget this, but it's interesting that you highlighted the importance of research and scientific backing.
Yes. It creates a whole nother level, like a whole nother layer of believability in the world that you're building, because it's grounded on something that people know to be true. Even if you need like a suspension of disbelief, like, if magic exists in the world, sometimes you root it in something that makes sense for them.
Ah, yes.
I remember magic for, I think it was the MCU is Marvel's Thor. For them, magic is just technology that people can't understand yet. So that's how they package magic. For some, it was an overflow of emotion turned into the arcane. So yeah, it grounding stuff, even fantastical stuff, in reality sometimes helps, but sometimes the unknown is creates another mystery of its own. That's why Lovecraftian
I love
you're right.
Lovecraft,
Lovecraftian is the viewer's reaction to things that they can't comprehend.
Yes.
And to me, like I in the middle of Azaria, I really got into like H.P. Lovecraft stuff, and I really got into like Cthulhu and stuff. So I made like a creature that was older than time itself.
Oh, that's cool.
And then one of the players encountered that said creature, and it spoke in such a language that they couldn't understand. And just hearing their voice made them roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then when just hearing the voice like bestowed a certain curse on their character, and now they got split into two.
Oh my god.
So like they got split into their negative self and their positive self, because
That's
and it's still a mystery to them.
That's cool
Oh
as
my
hell.
god. I love that so much. I love how, obviously you can immerse yourself into something you don't believe in, but at the same time, Cthulhu.
Yes, right. The unknown drives us to the helplessness within the unknown drives us to just have unlimited creativity sometimes.
Ooh, that's a nice quote. We're gonna quote that in our yearbooks now. So when you're building the character, the environment, you also mentioned how you thought about how people would live in it, different people with different economic statuses, for example, in Cyberpunk. When you build your environment, do you think of your character in mind, or do you just do it separate, like with them independent of each other?
For me, it depends. It depends on the need. Sometimes you have to think, you have to problem solve. Sometimes like a designer's brain helps, because designers just problem solve, right?
Yeah.
And artists just create. But in terms of like the correlation of like the characters to the environment and how it works hand in hand, sometimes you create the character and then you build the world around him, but sometimes you build the world and then I guess you just need to learn how to like adapt to certain like adapt to the need of the situation. Because I remember when I was talking to some of my players sa DnD, when I was talking to some of my players, when I was hearing some of their backstories, it inspired me to make just a specific place for them. There's this one character, the one who experienced the curse of the the curse of the unknown thing. She described her character as a what was that specific race? The Triton. She was a Triton. So within my world, like I didn't have room for Tritons yet, but within my geography, the world was separated by like oceans and seas. So what I did was I made just a specific kingdom for them. Like it was like the version, like their own version of Atlantis. But so in this world, I created like a whole hierarchy because I was inspired of hearing her backstory and everything. She wanted to become like an overachiever, but she always failed. So what kind of setting would it be that would like cater to that kind of need? So I made like a kingdom where her father was the king, and she could never live to the expectations of the king. And then she had this older brother who was doing everything that she couldn't. So yeah, I guess it just depends on what comes first, the chicken or the egg. For me.
Sorry, that came from like leaving the backstory and like setting vague. So sometimes leaving it vague gives you room to be flexible and add things.
That's why dungeon masters love it or hate it. Depends. Depends on the dungeon master. But DMs love it or hate it when a character comes without any backstory. Because that is where the DMs play.
It's a playground.
It's a playground.
It's a give or take relationship.
It is a very dangerous thing to give your DM like a blank sheet of backstory.
That might come to haunt you later.
Years of trauma.
I mean, she got split in half.
True.
So I guess that's enough punishment.
From just something's voice. That is one of the coolest things I've ever heard. I'm gonna use that for something.
Yeah. Based on what you're telling us, there's a lot of detail, but there's also a lot of restraint in how you do your campaign. And I would like to ask, how do you know when to like hold back a little and just leave it up to the players?
Oh, okay. To me, the best feeling as a DM, and the feeling where the world just comes to life, is when the players are just talking and I'm not involved. That's my favorite thing about like running a game, is that when they're in the when they're deep in the conversation about the whole politics of the world, like the lore, their relationships with these fictional people that we created together, it just feels to me that the world is alive. And I just it's all by feel for me. I guess it depends on the DM. But to me it's feelings based. Like whenever I would insert some stuff or hold back a bit of information, it just depends on, like, it's highly contextual for me. Because sometimes I want to withhold stuff from the players, right? Like things that they're not supposed to know yet. Or sometimes there's like a trick to it. I learned the trick just from watching Dimension 20, if you guys know
my
that.
gosh, I
The
love
wizards.
Dimension.
Yes. I think it's from 𝘰𝘰𝐻 Iyengar. She said, for things that you want to say but the player shouldn't know, you package it as this. You tell them, you don't know this, but, and then you say the information that you're about to say. So it's up to the player how they're gonna roleplay it out, of roleplay not knowing this information that they have. But as a player, as a person, they already know it, so they can prepare for the big reveal as well. So you and the person that you're DMing for, you both can move towards the climax of the thing that you're trying to, like the story that you're trying to say.
I love that. It's like you're making a puzzle, like you're solving a puzzle. It's also like you're just following the voice of God guiding you there.
The voice of the DM.
The voice of the DM.
Jesus, take the wheel.
They were a DM all along. We are living in a D&D campaign.
Yeah.
And actually that's...
The traffic is a roll of a dice.
Oh my god. Why do we keep getting ones
We keep
here?
on getting ones, guys.
We gotta keep rolling a nat 20 just to succeed the
It's
traffic.
weighted dice here in the Philippines.
Oh my god. But yeah, what you said about the world and like the players talking, that's how you know, I think, a sign of a good story, good setting. When it has a life of its own,
Yeah.
it becomes like you don't even have to do anything. That's I've seen that with like a lot of fandoms. I'm like, wow, it's like alive.
Yeah. And like my favorite is just political intrigue and just creating like I remember this one funny thing. Sometimes it's also like really fun to break what you created. I created a specific playlist when the players are breaking the game. And they started to realize it. They started to realize that one of the main enemies that they were facing up against was a storyteller. And every time that there's an inconsistency with the story, they would and they could point it out. I would play a song from the playlist. And then when they eventually like figured out that one of the main enemies was someone like a puppeteer holding the strings, they suddenly like broke reality.
What the?
Getting meta over
I know,
here.
it's pretty fun. and like when reality broke, they just saw like a bunch of strings tied to people,
Oh my god.
and everyone was just minis.
That is cool, dude. I want to see that animated.
Oh, actually, yeah, that would be so good in like an anime.
When they were talking to this one person, he just glitched.
Oh, dude, that's like Spider-Verse stuff.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Especially in Across. Yeah.
Yeah,
across.
That's so cool.
True. Multiverse is just wacky.
A multiverse
Just like
of,
goofy little
Trying to
thing.
handle a multiverse is just wacky work. I don't know.
and they managed to do it.
True. You can make it, or you can just fumble it hard.
Like Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange,
Doctor
yep.
Strange.
Well, sir, talking about like the storytellers seeing contradictions, that leads us to another question. How would you deal with contradictions in lore, world building, and in the characters, like how they acting out of character, and how would you deal with like plot holes, like possibly derailing your story or like breaking it even?
I guess it depends on what kind of plot hole you're dealing with, right? If it's like a major plot hole, you try to write yourself out of it to the best of your ability. But sometimes the way that you write yourself out of it is not like sideways but through. Sometimes you just have to accept that there's like an inconsistency, and then just you either like a cheap way would just be to find the MacGuffin and then just like restart the world. Shout out to DC Comics.
Every single every event reboots everything.
But also, you have to you have to accept as a writer that you're not perfect. Like you're gonna have like inconsistencies here and there, and people who are reading it could find, because they have more time to just ingest what you're writing down. So I guess have a little grace towards yourself, if you can. And in terms of writing yourself out of a plot hole, it's best to it depends on the approach. Sometimes it's best to be meta about it. Sometimes it's also good to just find like a thing that makes sense in the world that could make sense of the plot hole. I think Star Wars does that a lot, especially the older Star Wars movies, with Darth Vader's reveal in the first, because it was never specified that he was the father, but they edited it, I think, in the dub or something. But yeah, you just have to find like a reasonable way within the context of your world, because at the same time, everyone can point out plot holes, but you yourself, you're the one who wrote it, right? So you're the one who has like most knowledge of your world. But you also have to be humble about it. Like you have to accept na parang, oh yeah, okay, that's like an actual plot hole. Let me think about how I can like navigate my way through it.
That's a very good advice. Especially with big worlds and a long campaign such as yours with like 90 episodes. There's a lot of things going on. And personally, I would like to also ask, like, since you have all these different parts of the world working with and against each other. How do you make it cohesive as a whole?
In terms cohesive in terms of
Things making sense with each other and still being making sense with the lore, making sense with the characters.
for me, what I do with the world is that it continues to move even when the players aren't there. So everything so let's say like these people that they left were trying to expand their kingdom. By the time that the players go back, they already have. Or it helps to make the world feel more alive. And I guess it also comes down to how much you keep track of. For a writer, you always have to keep tabs on stuff. For me, to keep consistency with my game, I have this like 30-page Word document of just the story so far.
Ooh.
And every time I finish a game, I write down like key points, so I don't like lose track of stuff.
So cool. That's the next Lord of the Rings book for you.
God.
Dude, imagine. That'd be crazy. That's a good thing. Like, you cannot possibly remember all that. So compiling, you could write that. You could make that a book. You could make that like Vox Machina. Crazy.
That would be the dream for me.
They picked up by like Amazon or Netflix.
That would be insane.
Yeah, come on, sir, manifest it. Put in like words in the universe.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. And so, another question involving this with characters is, or just world building in general. What are your favorite types of settings?
Ooh. Okay.
There's so many.
Yes.
And you can mix genres too.
Right. I have a lot. It depends on my mood for the day. I love period pieces. I also love like cyberpunk. I love cyberpunk. I also love like gothic horror stuff. Castlevania is always a favorite of mine. Whenever I would go back to Castlevania, it would always be such a fun time. I also love whimsy, because whimsy can sometimes it can borderline be scary sometimes.
Actually.
I remember the Tim Burton rendition of Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, I love
Right?
that.
Like, it's such a whimsical world, but like underneath it all, you feel that something's wrong.
Yes, it's so creepy, especially with the White Queen.
Yes.
Like, she's so unnerving.
It's uncanny. It's like disturbing. It looks. I don't. It's like deceiving you, kind of.
And also, medieval settings grounded sometimes in reality.
Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga is a really good example. But I guess for Vinland Saga to work, they just focused on one man, right? Unlike if you look at Kingdom. Have you guys watched Kingdom?
Oh, the zombies on it.
No, the other one. It's
sorry.
the anime. Yeah, it can easily get confused. Kingdom is a story about how China became.
Oh, the heroes.
No, how China came to be, how China was like united, and how it became China. So it's like 5 seasons now, and it's just about this band of guys and he started off as like a farm boy, but he had like this battalion of guys that became like 1,000 people, and then 5,000 people, and then he became like one of China's greatest generals. So
that build up.
I want to watch that.
so yeah, cool. It depends on who you're following for me, because that makes the world. If the characters are interesting, and then even if there are some inconsistencies with the world, I can forgive it.
Actually, yeah. When it's the other way around, it's kind of hard to get invested.
True.
The world is cool. The characters just
right.
Either they suck or they're boring.
True.
I can't follow it. What else?
I guess for me, that would be Boku no Hero in a way. Hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, seated.
All right.
What's the hot take?
What's the hot take about?
Personally, I don't know. I feel like Deku is very bland, but I feel like the people around them and the world building with, the hero school, since I also love Sky High, it sells me. But I fell off because, again, I couldn't stomach seeing Deku just crying after every episode.
He's breaking his bones.
I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care? You wouldn't cry after your bones are broken?
He better hold then.
But Bakugo is so inspired though.
Oh, sorry.
Bakugo.
Oh yes, Bakugo.
Bakugo is so inspired.
I like Bakugo, man.
Deku is so bland, but Bakugo is so against form.
Yes.
Like he's a bad boy, but he doesn't compromise.
Yeah.
Like he won't compromise his beliefs because
He has principles.
he has principles.
Deku just cries.
Like, they subverted the whole expectation. You know, like when Sasuke and Naruto turned
Yes.
evil? They subverted that completely. You think I'm gonna turn
Come
evil?
join us.
No.
Nah, dude. I'm gonna do my own thing.
I'm Bakugo. I'm not gonna follow you.
Yes.
I believe in myself. I stand on my
I'm
beliefs.
really bad at naming my moves.
That's true. He can't even name himself.
Yeah.
took
It's
like
like murder, whatever.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can't spoil it. He does have a name now, but it's so lame.
Yeah.
It's so lame. He could have had one that's. Am I getting in trouble if I say what I think his name should have been? It should have been so cool. Censor it out if it triggers anyone,
Spoilers.
Spoilers. What I think his name should have been. Spoilers for My Hero. It should have been Ground Zero.
Actually,
That sounds.
You know how cool that sounds, buddy. Spoilers again. I will reveal his name, his hero name. It's so freaking lame. Dynamite.
Aww.
No.
Ground Zero sounds so much cooler. Like I want.
Because it fits him. He's edgy.
Yeah.
it's like
How would you feel if a villain?
It's such
you're
an
a
edgy
villain?
name.
Exactly. He's edgy.
right?
Imagine you're a villain. You hear Ground Zero incoming.
A tragedy is about to
No,
happen.
it's Dynamite.
A disaster level
Watch out!
monster.
Ground Zero's coming. What do you mean? What the hell is Ground Zero?
Oh, but also like a very simple setting with like really interesting characters. One Punch Man.
Yes.
One Punch Man. The way that it builds up like the mystery behind Saitama's power level, and the supporting characters is what makes One Punch Man so entertaining. Like everyone's struggle, and then Saitama comes in to just
He just
one
does
tap the
his
guy.
thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't care.
But later on they learned that like they couldn't really rely on that, so they just made like more and more like extreme things. But also I think they're still building up to something like a major conflict that Saitama can just beat in one punch. I don't know.
2 punches.
2 punch.
Maybe 3.
Do you know Death Note, sir?
Yes.
I feel like it's a very good example of
So
what
good.
you said too. Yes, like the way they characterize Light and L, and they're like dynamic with each
Yes.
other, like carried the whole show.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that people tend to do, which Death Note doesn't do, is whenever someone is smart, someone has to be dumb.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
But Death Note
yes.
doesn't do it. Death Note pins 2 smart characters against each other, but the only way that one can win is if he outmaneuvers himself out of the problem. I think if you start to watch Kingdom, that's why I love it so much, because all of the characters there are just so smart. Like they like no one is dumbed down just because this other guy has plot armor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate it.
Like they don't do stupid decisions that are outside their character because of plot armor that this one guy has. He really is just cunning. He's more cunning than the other person, but they're both just trying to one up each other. So it makes sense the time that they reveal who wins. So for me, you just have to respect the characters as well.
It's exciting to watch too. It's like, it's like a rap battle kind of, but like with your mind. I don't know how else to say that.
The tennis match in Death Note is insane.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so animated well.
True.
And
Like
then-
every move is just, oh, if I hit this ball too hard, he's gonna suspect that I'm light.
It's like, it's such a meme. Death Note. I love it. But
I'm gonna take
take
potato
this shit
chip
and
and
eat
eat
it. It's like, what? How did he get a TV? How did he get a camera or phone in there
Yeah.
without opening it?
Plus, I love how Light, as I wouldn't say it's OP, but I love how he didn't have plot armor too. At least for me.
True.
Because that's a trope that I really don't like when I see it in anime. It's like, how he's still alive just because of the plot armor.
The power of
Yeah.
friendship.
And his progression makes sense. He started off as someone who was bored, and then he low-key has like a god complex to him.
Yes. Oh, so he's so
That
annoying.
just became worse
He's
because
so
he
annoying.
won.
Yeah. oh
He
my
won
God.
at the start, right?
Yeah.
I hated the second half of that.
It was after. I wouldn't say spoilers because it's been
Right?
out for like
I
a year.
hated the second part of that note.
Spoilers, I guess. But oh my god, after L died,
Yeah.
I was just.
I would have been happy with Light just winning
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
them ending it there.
Yeah.
Just committing to it. I bet the editor told him to like, oh, you have to let the good guys win, nah,
But
dude.
he's not the good guy. Wait, is it Light? Did they think Light was?
Let
the
Sukuna win.
good? You know what? Since yeah, I was gonna say something. There needs to be spoiler disclaimers.
Yes.
Skip this part. I can't bring
Skip
this
to
up.
this part.
At this point, I am rooting for Sukuna because all right, hot take, JJK. I think. Wait,
Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take.
I think Yuji Itadori is not as good as every other character in the show. I think he's a boring character.
He is swept to the side
Everyone
by
else is
all
so much
these
interesting.
potential protagonists. I think Yuta was originally meant to be the protagonist of JJK, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
but well, when
Have
he
you seen the
fights-
leaks?
No.
The latest leaks?
He's seated. He is seated.
Man. Whew.
I do like it when he fights though. He's just one of the main
It's
characters.
pretty good.
doesn't
Chapter
care.
251 is pretty insane.
Wait, yeah, and we're on the clock. I can't look it up right now. what was the chapter?
251. Check it out on
Nico
TikTok.
will remember that for later.
I will remember that, like a telltale game. Okay, so very bad segue from JJK spoilers
Yes.
to our favorite tropes. What are some of your favorite tropes in all of fiction?
Oh.
Just like, yeah.
I have a confession to make. I slept at around 5 a.m. this morning because I was watching an anime that was not finished yet. It's I only know the Japanese name and that makes me sound like a weeb.
Okay.
I think it's Boku no Kokoro no Yata Yabai or something.
That sounds familiar.
It's this one guy who's like really quiet, falls in love with this really popular girl.
So that's not narrowing it down.
That sounds cute.
That's not narrowing it down. But I do love the trope. I love the trope of just this quiet introvert falls in love with this extrovert.
Aww.
Like-
I love that.
Golden Retriever Black Cat.
Yes, the golden retriever black cat.
Aww.
Also, I am one of my guilty pleasures is enemies to lovers.
Oh my god!
Yes, enemies to lovers. We stand.
Sorry.
We have that dynamic in our D&D game. They annoy each other so much that they just fell in love, but now they're torn apart again because this other guy got married, and then now his husband doesn't exist anymore. So where does that leave them?
Whoa. Dang, that's a lot of
Yes.
angst. The tension.
It's the tension. It's what sells it to me.
I love it. Also, tropes. I love I love the silent protector trope. Yes. I see people like, yes, I feel seen. I love the silent protector trope. Recently I've really been into just that the character development into just maturity and peace. the I have no enemies kind of.
Yes.
It's so good because I watched Villain Saga and it's just,
Dude.
man, this is insane. If people, if young boys, if young boys gravitate from Andrew Tate to I have no enemies, please be influenced
Yes,
by
sir.
that. Not by Andrew Tate. Oh my God.
Vinland Saga better than that.
Please stop being an
High five,
alpha
sir.
male.
Please stop. Please stop being an alpha male.
Yes.
You have no enemies.
You have no enemies. You don't.
I just met
Please.
you. I just met you today. I have no enemies.
Chill.
Oh my God.
Our
Wow.
motto for the day. We have no
We have
enemies.
no enemies.
You have no enemies. The just the stoicism of the character and his approach to life is one of my favorite like works of fiction. It's generally a seinen like a seinen trope to have these characters that go through excruciating suffering and them to realize that, oh, all that suffering made sense and I'm a better person now. Miyamoto Musashi
Yeah.
from Vagabond. Miyamoto Musashi from Vagabond. Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. Hopefully, Guts from Berserk. I pray to God that man finds peace.
He needs a break.
I swear, he
Hopefully.
needs a sleep. Just a single sleep.
He needs a hug. He needs a warm something.
True.
Everything.
Like, man, it's gonna be okay. Let me hold you.
Jesus.
Hopefully Lucy too from Cyberpunk. I feel so bad for her.
Damn. David.
I feel
why?
so bad for like the small girl.
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
She
got
didn't deserve
stung,
that.
Rebecca.
She didn't deserve that.
No.
Spoiler zone, I guess. It's been out for a while.
We keep spoiling.
We're just gonna say that we feel bad, but we don't. We won't say what happened to her.
She became a worker in Pancake House.
Wow.
Oh my God.
She got punked.
Oh, another trope that I really like is God, I lost my train of thought. But
Calibrating.
calibrating. No, another trope that I really like is oh, that sounds so bad though.
It's a safe space.
I like really like played out like tsundere and yandere kind of
Actually,
things. Cause it's so freaking like okay, all right, good job, writer. Like you're doing a love story and then, like this girl is or this guy is just like, oh, I don't really care for them much, and then within their heart is like, oh my God, what they did for me is just so yeah. Spy Family.
Actually,
I love wholesome families.
Actually,
Yes.
Make families complete in anime, please.
Yes.
Make
Don't-
husbands and wives love each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
The not dead parent trope.
Stop killing parents.
Stop killing your parents.
Dude, they're great. They should be.
It's foundational for a good person, I hope. Yeah.
I hope.
Not everything has to be tragic.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Sometimes you just have to be silly and have fun.
True. Yeah. But also sometimes it makes for like really okay, like really broken characters are like so good. Like actual red flags. Actual red flags are also like I have so much. Actual red flags as characters are just really good as
It's
well.
understandable.
Lucifer Morningstar.
Is he? Well, I know. I can't believe I'm saying. Is he a red flag?
He is the red flag.
He is the red flag. He invented the red flag.
He
He's the
invented
pole.
the reason why it's red
Yeah, it's
is
him.
Lucifer.
But we're in a Catholic school.
Oh, right.
But the show and the comics are so good.
It's vastly different,
Yeah.
but they play to their strengths.
Dude, it's awesome.
In contrast, actually, that plays since you said a lot of red flags. So for some raw red flags, what do you think are some tropes that are red flags to you? Some tropes that you hate seeing.
The illegal ones.
Hey,
The illegal ones.
It's valid.
definitely.
I hate harems.
Yes.
Yes.
Harems are just so
They're never done well.
They're never
usually.
done well.
And it's just the same thing over and over again.
It's just a self-insert, dude.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's a self-insert.
From some like incel or
It's
something.
just like a power fantasy
Yeah.
for them, and it's obviously so. Oh, you know what though? Mushoku Tensei, it's done so well. Like he in his former life he was like an incel and stuff, but he accepts it.
Yeah, he gets
And
he grows.
he gets he has growth. And season 3 was just like all about ED.
Well, yes, but it's one of the few isekais and like harems technically that shows. Well, it handles it well. It's
True.
not just. It shows the reality of it.
True.
A harem in real life.
It's a more grounded isekai.
That'd be so bad. No, don't do that.
With consent, though.
Yeah, with
Everything with
consent.
consent.
Yes.
With consent.
Of course.
Another red flag would be what's this? Another red flag would be. God, I lost my train of thought again.
Recalibrating.
Recalibrating.
Just like Lucy.
Oh, Mary Sue's.
I hate Mary
I
Sue.
hate Mary Sue's.
This is why I hate Deku.
Yeah, yes.
Especially towards the end.
Oh my God. Mary Sue's are just so lazy. They just find a way to just become stronger eventually, just because of this inherent trait
Yeah,
that they
like
have.
convenience.
I'm just better.
Convenience. Yeah.
So boring.
I'm just better.
I'm just better.
A really bad Mary Sue would be Rey from Star Wars.
I was gonna say that,
Oh
dude.
yes,
We
yes.
don't. I pretend
So
that
bad.
doesn't exist.
Me too.
Somehow.
Star Wars only goes up to like 6 for me.
There are no
As it
new
should be.
movies.
and the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Yes, and the animated stuff,
Noted.
because the animated stuff are really
Yes.
good.
The what's it called? The Bad Batch. The
Bad
final
Batch,
season.
yeah. One of our old professors used to work for Lucasfilms,
Oh,
I
really?
think.
The anime.
𝐸𝐴. I don't know if you guys know him.
Unfortunately,
I don't think
wasn't
so.
He
able-
did like texture and detail, I think, for like Star Wars, Clone Wars.
What?
Yeah,
No way! I love the clone.
it's insane. But yeah, Mary Sue's, it's just lazy writing. An excuse for. I also don't like power scaling that much. If it doesn't make sense, I don't like Bleach.
Oh,
Ooh, hot
really?
take.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Yeah, hot take. I am not a fan of Bleach.
Why, sir?
It just cause I read the manga when it was coming out, like all these Gote 13, like it's done in the manga, right? But after, it just became like repetitive and bland for me. He gets this new sword. He gets another sword. He's actually this guy.
Oh,
He's actually relatives with a Quincy. And then it's just,
he's a mix of everything.
he's a mix of everything. He is a Mary Sue.
Actually, you're not wrong. In some way.
Ichigo.
That actually reframed my whole understanding of Bleach.
You're
Did I
right.
ruin Bleach for you? I'm so
Well,
sorry.
No, I still like Bleach, but
I'm
you're
gonna
right.
sob after recording.
And another thing that I hate about Bleach is just that
Just driving it more.
no, the bad animation is just really bad.
Oh, it was dated.
Right?
I would say that, yeah.
It would take forever.
It would just have like really like static
Yes.
dialogue, and then Rukia would be like dialogue. It's just
Yes. So, after tropes, I think we're gonna have to come to a close. But we're gonna come to a close about the tropes, because I think we could go on all day about tropes we hate.
true. We could be haters all day.
We can. It's so easy.
Professional.
We have no
haters.
enemies.
Professional
Remember.
haters.
We have no tropes we hate. No, it's not true. We hate so many tropes. But how about we talk about, since we are all animation alumni, sir, what do you think about storytelling in the animation course and like our thesis work?
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to say a hot take. I'm preparing myself. No, there's like a major problem with storytelling nowadays. Because for the sake, and inclusivity is fine. Like, it's very valid. but making a story for like inclusivity alone, without the relatability of it, is just an excuse for me. Like sometimes like one of the main problems that I see is they make the whole thing about just a specific niche that they want to explore, and not something that really makes sense. It's hard to go into specifics for that one, but I think why if you guys watch the new Star Trek,
Have not.
Uh,
Have not.
the one with Michael something,
Not yet.
I forgot that, but it was Star Trek, but it was very just compromising and not really like fulfilling the vision of what Star Trek is. And then it came alongside with this other show, which was the Orville. And
I
it
watched
was but and the difference between the two is this one was just trying to accommodate everyone, and then this one was trying to say a story from the heart.
Oh, that's nice.
I guess the most important thing with like storytelling for me, above all like the technicalities and just keeping track of everything that you have to keep track of, and the environments and everything, is that you have to tell something that speaks to your heart.
Yes.
If you're gonna tell a story, make sure that it tells a story to you first. If you're gonna tell like a story about something that you want to speak about, make sure that you have a voice on the topic. Because if you don't, you're gonna harm the discourse, and you're just gonna confuse yourself in the process. You're gonna end up doing doing something that you don't want to do. And it's very common because I almost went through the same thing as well with my own like projects and stuff. I just because of the need of like the deadline, meeting a deadline, I had to just pull something out of my
Yeah.
so, and it ended up like me being ashamed of it because I didn't want to. I felt like speaking on a topic that I didn't really have grounds on. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think for now, in any in Ant's story, we're encouraged to pick a topic that we are passionate about and relate it to our life.
True.
And like, because I think if I can share my any project and story, it's about being stereotyped and being judged on first impressions, and people not really giving you a chance, just based on like my past, judging you based on what you are instead of who you are, being labeled. And like I feel really passionate about that, and the story may change, like the entire plot, the setting, but the message will remain the same, and I think it'll drive my passion for the project. Because there are days I just don't feel like drawing some days. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Some days I don't like, the creativity does not come to me.
After life draw, I didn't draw for 3 months.
Yes, I did not pick up a pen.
Life
Post
drawing.
life drawing.
We had Sir Pat here for an episode.
Really?
Yes, oh man.
Did you ask him why we needed that? Just kidding.
Not see.
But it was for a good reason.
Yeah.
So,
Improved.
Good class.
yeah.
At what cost?
Like, what caused it improved the our anatomy like,
Yeah.
vastly.
It did.
Yeah.
What you said, Miko, that really makes a lot of sense. Because me too, like when I have this where I don't want to draw anymore and I feel like I want to give up on art, I at least think, hey, at least I like my topic as a whole.
Yeah.
True.
Like you can't hate both drawing and your topic because that will just make you sad in the end. So you gotta find something you need to cling on to get through everything.
The heart is I remember like very early on into my life, it was something that my mom told me, and shout out to my mom, she's a good mom. she told me when I was just starting out, like I was like 6 years old, and I still remember it to this day, that whatever you make, as long as it comes from the heart, someone will be touched by it, or at least it will make it's bound to be beautiful, is what she said. As long as it comes from your heart, it's bound to be beautiful. And even if not, but not everyone will appreciate it. Not everyone will see what you're trying to say. But if it makes sense for you, if it speaks volumes to your own heart, it will find its audience.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. It's true. Art.
I guess as a follow-up, say that we have some viewers here who have heart and they found their voice and they really want to share their story and bring it out into the world, but they're too afraid to, or maybe they don't know how to start, or maybe they're shy and they don't think that anyone would want to listen. What is something that you would tell them to bring up their courage?
There are parts in the world where people are experiencing just suffering. And one way that you can help to just bring a voice to the voiceless is by what in my personal belief God has given to you. So, and I believe as well that if you don't say what you need to say, the regret will outweigh the regret will just haunt you forever. I remember when I was trying to find out what I wanted to do in life, I came upon a crossroads where I either decided to go for my pastoral internship or just pursue just a normal career. And upon like weighing my decisions, the calling that I have in life brought me to such a place where everyone questioned my decision, but deep inside my heart I had no regrets, because I knew that I was meant to go where I was meant to go. And if I followed and strayed the path, if I took a different route, I know that I wouldn't be able to live down the regret that I would have if I wouldn't be able to say what I needed to say. So I guess if you're trying to say something but you're afraid, the voice that you have is a voice that only you can say. And the voice that you have is uniquely your own.
Wow, mic drop. Wow, that's a very nice thing to cap things off of on. So thank you again for joining us today, Sir Zep. Unfortunately, all good things come to an end. Yeah, including this episode. The advice you've given us is very priceless, and I'm very sure that a lot of viewers will carry these on, especially in your advice regarding sharing your stories and finding the need to say what you say. That is very nice. Thank you, sir. I had a lot of fun in that. How about you, Miko?
Dude, that was great. I love this. I love this episode.
We went from anime to I'm at a crossroads in my life.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes. It's like a 12 a.m. conversation, but like midday.
True. I love this conversation.
Dude, it's
yes,
awesome.
the
It's
best
so great.
conversation.
When everyone's just tired and you're existential. What am I living for?
Start
Why are
dissecting
we
each
still
other.
here? Just to suffer.
I didn't ask for this. Okay, so I think it's time to wrap it up as we come to a close. Any other nuggets of wisdom and knowledge other than what you've already shared?
Wisdom requires hard work. That's it.
You're not wrong, sir.
Wise words from Sir Zep. Thank you again
Thank
for
you,
joining us,
sir.
sir. if you guys want to see more of Sir's art, his socials are gonna be displayed somewhere over here, somewhere there.
Somewhere.
So give him a follow and give our page a follow too. So our socials gonna be displayed there as well. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us in Nimo's Corner Season 2. I have been your host, Jors.
And I'm also your host, Nico, and this is our guest, Sir Zed.
Thank
That
you,
is
everyone.
all for Nemo's Corner, Season 2. Don't
See
forget
you
to check out
next
our
one.
guest's social media and their great work. See you next
See you in the
season.
next season. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.